Welcome back to a brand new episode of Private Parts with me, Liv Bentley. This is the podcast where nothing is off limits. Today, we've got a very special episode where I am opening up the floor to all of you, to our wild listeners, to answer your questions and confessions, and I will reveal all of my private parts. Well, if you pay. Okay, right, to start with, we've got a funny dilemma. I say funny, I haven't even read it yet. I recently went out for dinner with my boyfriend of 6 months, and luck would have it, we bumped into an ex of his. She was pleasant and polite, so no drama at that point. But a few days later, she messaged me to warn me that he repeatedly cheated on her and lied to her. Is she looking out for me as girl code or bitter? Should I confront him? Yeah, you know what? If you're investing in someone, you've got to be truthful to them. So I would say to the guy, listen, your ex has said this. Yeah, I don't know. That's a really hard one. I would say to your boyfriend, listen, your ex has messaged me saying this, because you don't want to start off a relationship or be in a relationship where there's lies. And if you're talking to his ex, if the shoe was on the other foot, how would you feel? So I 100% would say to your boyfriend, listen, your ex has said this. And also, I mean, does a leopard ever change its spots? I don't know. Guys sometimes cheat on girls that they're not that into. So it might be very different for you. But yeah, I would confront him. It's a hard one though as well to tell with girls, because you never know if it's like a spiteful ex who doesn't want you with the boyfriend, or if it does come from a place of actual care. I don't know. If he hasn't shown you any hints that he's like that, then I would trust him. Or go off your gut, really. Hey Liv, I love Made in Chelsea and have watched every episode. What would you say your favourite episode or season to film and why? Ibiza, without question, was my favourite. I think I actually stayed on it longer because I was waiting for those days to happen again. But I was like 23, didn't have any worries, tax wasn't a problem. You know, I was just starting out. It was just fun because I was younger. I think I had a closer knit group of friends then. Like it was just a different time really. And weirdly, when you're younger, when you're part of the younger lot on the show, everything is more chilled for you. You just leave it to the older ones to pick up the pieces, whereas you can just fuck around, which I quite literally did. One of my favourite episodes was when I spoke about the alopecia, but it was more the stuff that came afterwards. It was the most daunting one to come out. I was never worried about... I never watched it back, as in when I first joined the show, I watched it back and then I was like, this is too weird. I'm becoming so self-critical about my physical look, obviously, nothing about my chat. That was obviously always offensive. So yeah, it was, when the alopecia one came out, the messages I received were so sweet, and actually gave me more confidence, firstly, to be more open about the stuff I'd gone through, but how nice it was to hear how many people had gone through something similar, because I think prior to me speaking about it, I'd never really had conversations with anyone about it before. So that was probably one of my favourite episodes. Hey Liv, you've been so open about cosmetic tweaks you have had with Dr. Motox. Is there any surgical treatments you would never do or you think looks terrible? I just love Botox. Is there anything I wouldn't do? The thing is though, now there's so many weird different things you could do. I wouldn't get a BBL, if I'm totally honest with you. I don't. Yeah, I think everyone has their thing of what you want to look good, and my arse just looks like it's been sat on for 30 years. So I'm not hugely bothered by it, just wear long jumpers. But the bum thing scares me. I'm trying to think of anything else I would get. I don't know. You know what? If I started to look like Lindsay Lohan pre, I'd like to look like her post. So that I would consider. I am an old smoker and a drinker. Right now I'm pretty content. But what's weird, it took me 5 years to get lip filler, because that's how much of a pussy I was about it. And weirdly, someone commented the other day going, what's wrong with Liv's lips? The problem is because I smoke, so the filler moves around a little bit. That's not because of Motox, that's because of me. And he says, don't smoke straight afterwards. I'm straight outside with a fag in my mouth. I just think, this is where actually Dr. Motox is the perfect person to go to, is go easy with it. Don't feel you need to go hell for leather straight away with everything. Small little things as you go. Because I mean, fuck me, I used to saw a photo of what I used to look like. One eyebrow was basically on my top lip. Anyway, next. Dilemma. The girl I'm seeing continually tries to dress me in a different style of clothes and keeps buying me clothes. I prefer my own style, but don't want to hurt her feelings at the same time. Is this a sign she's going to be controlling me? Why do women always try to change us? That's actually quite interesting, because I normally think guys well, I'm a girl obviously, that men try to change women. I don't know. Listen, I'll be totally honest. I've dated guys and I'm sorry to say I would not allow them in certain items of clothing, to the point that I've actually binned them because I thought they were so offensive. So I don't think dressing someone is a controlling thing. However, if a bloke told me how to dress, I'd tell him where to shove it where the sun don't shine. So it's a hard one. If you're sort of roaming around in a pair of like sandals and Adidas tracksuits while meeting her parents, I would say no. I wouldn't take it as a sign of controlling, but it depends. I think you should say to her, listen, I appreciate that you might not like my style. However, I do like it. So accept it. I actually had a big fight once with a boyfriend on Made in Chelsea, and we were doing the cast photo and we all had to wear, I think, something colourful. And it was because, and we had a fight because my top was too low cut. And I was saying, but hang on, mate, your button's done to there. I mean, I know it's different because I've got a pair of boobs, but so actually I was in the wrong. But I just had to fight my own corner. Yeah, can you actually, would you mind sending in a photograph of your style and your style and then the style she'd like you to wear, and I'll let you know which one I think's better. Did I told you about the Who Wore It Better with me and Jamie Lang for years? Used to get tagged in articles called Who Wore It Better? Me or Jamie Lang? And because we looked like sort of bizarre siblings, and there are photos of us in the same clothing. Honestly, I looked like his twin brother. And now I had my shirt lower than his. Anyway, what a time to be alive. Hey Liv, do you believe people can really change and correct their bad behaviour in a relationship? Or deep down, does a leopard never truly change their spots? This is really fucking hard, and it's a question I've asked myself many a time. And it depends if it's a habit, or I don't know, because everyone says different things for guys and girls. I think it's very dependent on what you want to change. If it's like a cheating thing, and I go in waves with this because I can't work it out. People say a leopard never changes their spots. I know people who in the past have cheated, have got into relationships now and have been very happy and have never cheated ever since. And I can see them never cheating. So I don't know if it's a case of wrong person. I think obviously if you're in a relationship and you're cheating, that's a big, massive warning sign that you should not be in that relationship. But I do think it says more about the relationship potentially than the person, or you're just a fucking sex pest. But I think kind of past 25, maybe we are who we are. There are certain things I want to change about myself, which I'm hoping I can, but I don't think that's personality traits. I think that's behavior traits, if that makes sense. When you say change, and this is another thing I remember, is compromise is very different to change. So if it's because you're trying to work out if there's one person that's right for you, and you're in a relationship and you don't know if it's right or wrong, I would say if there's compromise on certain things, like you don't like the fact they smoke, it's happened on a few dates, then that's obviously one thing. But if someone's like persistently rude to waiters and you ask them not to be, or do you know what I mean? But then again, if someone's a narcissist, they're probably a fucking narcissist, so exit. I recently found my girlfriend's porn searches. I love these ones. I recently found my girlfriend's porn searches, and I was horrified, to be quite frank. It was all pretty hardcore, and the men in the videos looked nothing like me. Plus, lately she's not wanted sex with me as much at all. So I plucked up the courage and confronted her on it, and she said it's just fantasy and I'm overreacting, but agreed to stop watching it if it offends me. But we still aren't having much sex, and I can't get it out of my head. Am I overreacting? Has she lost interest in me? Am I overreacting, or has she lost interest in me? Be honest. Oh my God, this is really hard because I don't watch porn, so I actually don't know. And also that's that's unusual that this has come from a bloke about a girl. I always thought it'd be the other way around. But is it a fantasy that maybe you could try and reenact? I want to know what the porn was. I don't know. I think it's really hard. I mean, I should know the answer to this because of selling lube. I don't know because I think from my experience, when guys lose their sort of sex drive, it's normally because of something going on mentally, like work stuff, or their mind is elsewhere. Whereas with women, it's not because they're not attracted to you. I think it's just something's obviously changed. But listen, I don't think porn is actually a very healthy thing for anyone, men, women, whoever, because I don't think it helps sex lives when you're in a relationship. So I would have a conversation with her and see where her head really is at, because it doesn't sound, if she was still having sex with you, it sounds like things would be all right, but there obviously is more to it than just the porn, I would say. Hey Liv, would you ever own an OnlyFans account? Funnily enough, recently I've been quite broke and I have actually considered it. And weirdly, I was talking to Will, our sweet friend in the corner, about the feet photos he's been selling. So yeah, I don't know. We're thinking about it, aren't we?
Yeah.
I, by the way, laughed so much when you sent me that message. I'll be totally honest. I have really thought about it. But then I've only thought about it because for quick money, which is really bad. But I realised it's not my thing. I would sell feet photos if I'm honest. Not that anyone would want to see them. But no, I don't think I would do OnlyFans. I just don't. It's not that I don't agree with it, and everyone does it for different reasons. Well, I don't know what it is. Some people actually, I think, do it to boost their confidence. I just can't get my head around selling my body for money, really, if I'm totally honest. But if you've got a good fee, let me know and we can talk about it. Hey Liv, snog, marry, avoid. Ed Sheeran, Justin Bieber, Harry Styles. Marry Harry Styles. Snog, because he's high end. I think he's actually got an unbelievable voice. He's fit. Snog Ed Sheeran, and I probably would avoid Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber, he's just not for me, if I'm totally honest. I think Ed Sheeran's wonderful. I love his music, all of his music, but Harry is the fittest, I think. My boyfriend refuses to wear condoms and says it doesn't feel the same and thinks I should just go on the pill, but I don't want the hormones to mess my body up. However, the other day we were in his car and I found an unopened box of condoms in his glove compartment. He went bright red and said they were old, but I don't believe him. Is he cheating? Help. Okay, firstly, boys can shut the fuck up until they've tried the pill, which, by the way, I've just realised the NHS have found male contraception. Did you know this? It's coming out. So boys, pucker up because you're about to get a hit of hormones. Is he cheating? I mean, it's not a great sign, if I'm totally honest, finding condoms. But also in his car, because how long have you been together? They are unopened. Maybe, well, unless actually he was being a good boyfriend and he listened to you and you said you wanted to use condoms. I don't know. I don't know. It's so easy. Everyone's so quick to think that blokes are cheating. And I'm always like, they're probably not. They probably fucking are. But then, I don't know. I would... listen, just keep an eye on that box. If any get opened that weren't used with you, there's your answer. Hey, Liv, what other reality show would you go on and why? You know what? I... would be fucking useless because dancing makes me feel sick and I would be horrifically bad at it. But I would do Strictly to learn to dance. Not to learn to dance, but I think that could actually be quite a fun show. The other one I would love to do is The Jungle, just because I quite like. It's annoying. You know what I wish, and I think I was nearly close to doing it. Was The Island with Bear Grylls years ago, and then they stopped doing it because he went to go do another show. But that as something outdoorsy, I would love. Not SAS though. Fuck me carrying a backpack up a hill with a fag. You joke? Oh no, you can't smoke, so it'd be useless. I think The Jungle one. The only thing I think I would find hard would be the eating challenge. I think the bug thing, weirdly, after doing Inside, when I had and I don't know what I was thinking about the other day when I had my head full of those creatures, it wasn't actually as bad. I mean, the smell was horrific. And then I had to eat that disgusting fruit thing. But I don't know, I think I'd quite enjoy it. I think. In saying that, heights would not be my thing. That would be terrifying. I would find the scariest. I'm actually sweating thinking about it. The walking across that plank would be a nightmare. I hate heights for me. When I was younger, I didn't give a shit, but now, I mean, yeah, I get a bit nervous. Who is your ultimate dream private parts guest and why? Oh, I would love someone like Joanna Lumley. I just think she's my icon. She would be phenomenal. Or, I know this is hard because it's an actress playing a role, but Beth Dutton from Yellowstone. She is my spirit animal. I just think she's amazing. But yeah, one of those two. I just think there's something quite fabulous. I just love strong women, but not in a punchy way. I think it's really hard because everyone there's like a fine line between being like a strong woman and then being sort of not a feminist, but sort of, and do you know what I mean? Yeah, man hater, which is obviously I'm not in the slightest. Okay, I don't know if this was wild or just stupid. When I was 19, I got married in Vegas to a man I had been dating for just 2 months. We thought it would be funny to pretend to get married, but somewhere along the line we made the decision to sign the papers for real, thanks tequila. That evening, we got married on the Strip and spent the night sneaking into casinos and strip clubs. I lost my shoes, my debit card, and most of my self-respect. I was so embarrassed after the fact that I never told anyone what I'd done. The relationship didn't last, obviously, but I lived married to this guy for years without anyone knowing. Even now, only my closest friends know about it. I mean, I actually think that's fucking wild and hilarious. I sort of would do that in a weird way. I think I've changed my mind. I used to want one of those big white weddings. Fuck that shit. Now I want to go to Vegas with a not random bloke, just anyone on the streets, and do it that way because I think it's funnier. I think people spend so much money on these ridiculous weddings, hen dos, all that. I'm just going to elope. Obviously, I need to find the person first, but yeah, I think that's hilarious. But the thing is, hang on, are you still married to them now? Like, do you still live together? But also, sorry, wait, hang on. What if you do that legally, sign the papers, then you have to go through a fucking divorce? How do you tell the next person? Just so you know, I winged it and got married for 2 months. I think it's a funny story, but I don't know if people should listen to me because I do things for the stories. I think I take that whole YOLO thing a little bit too far sometimes. But I think that's quite incredible. God, some of these confessions come in and I think, Christ, my life's actually pretty fucking boring. What top 3 makeup items can I not leave the house without? Lip balm, eyeliner, and mascara are the 3. Actually, I mean, this is truly telling. We could do, you know, this when there's all those celebrities do what's in my bag, and this is rather telling in a way that I don't think is good. Just one of those, and another one in case I run out. Oh my God! And just in case, another one. Like my grandmother, hand cream, obviously. Oh, polos, because I smoke a cigarette or 2. My wallet. Oh, Rene, just for indigestion. I'm like an old man. What is going on in here? Oh, my Jeffrey Dahmer glasses, because these, in case. I like wearing these because I just don't look people in the eye. Car keys, euros, for no reason, because I've got no travel plans. There's a lot going on in here. A load of old tat, a couple of tampons. What else? Lighters. Oh, yeah, well, I'm never without a lighter, obviously. Oh, actually, these are quite sweet. I actually really like these the mini perfumes. I don't know if anyone else, when they're slightly hormonal, get rather sweaty, because I do. This was Chloe. Oh, yeah, my wallet with my donor card in, which I will donate my organs. Not that anyone wants them, especially my fucking lungs. For a silly small fake handbag, this can fit the fucking works, let me tell you. Oh, okay, lip balm, this one's great. Mario, not going to try and attempt to assert the name. That's perfect. Charlotte Tilbury black eyeliner. And what was the other thing I said? Oh, mascara. God, I'm like a hoarder for things. I've got 2 in here. I've got 2 pairs of sunglasses, depending on my mood. These ones I actually prefer. It's shocking. The cigarettes are really offensive. God, I need to quit. There's a niche, another lip balm, lip ice. I don't think that's mine. The funniest is when you go on a night out and then you borrow something of someone's and find it in your bag, which germ-wise, that's pretty fucking rank. But yes, anyway. Yeah, that's half of what's in my little handbag. Couple ciggies and a pair of sunglasses. Top 3 tips for hot girl summer. Just have fucking fun. I think also people forget, you need to remind yourself, the fun doesn't stop at a certain age. You don't need to suddenly start taking life seriously. I mean, obviously don't lose the plot, like me. But yeah, I think just have fun. Go on holidays. Get good friends around you. I think that's really important. If this is post-breakup, I think the most important thing is getting good people around you. Don't go too, ease off on the booze was my big thing because, you know what happens, over-emotional, you want to text your ex, not great. Block and don't drink. But I always think girls weirdly always have the glow up after a breakup rather than guys. It's interesting, isn't it? And yeah, just have fun. Fuck it. So the best moment, or one of the most shocking moments for me, and I look back and I was obviously a bit pissed, which is not great. There was a lunch party scene in Corsica, and it was when it had come out that Sam Prince had kissed someone else, but it was one of those moments. Normally you semi-know what drama's happening, but this was so shocking. Even I was speechless. And after a drink, I'm never speechless, but I was at this point. Actually, it was awful. I was sitting at the table, and have you ever seen that scene in Wedding Crashers when the drunk mother's elbow slips off the table because she's a bit drunk? That was me. But it was just, yeah, everyone was slightly gobsmacked at the whole thing. Favourite though, that's a bit sick and twisted actually, when someone else's poor life is going down the shitter and we're sitting there like laughing at it. I'd gone around admitting, because everyone knew it was coming, or something big was coming, and I had then tried to hustle the cast around to be on my side if anything was coming out about me, forgetting I had absolutely no involvement in any fucking drama, so it wasn't about me. So then half the cast knew all the shit that I'd done. Anyway, luckily it never came out. And that is the end of asking Liv advice, which I'm pretty shite at. But yeah, send in any questions, dilemmas, confessions, which are truly shocking. I'd like something a little bit more shocking. I understand this poor girl watching rather aggressive porn. But yeah, anything deeper and darker would be great. So send your dodgy DMs to private podcasts on Instagram, and I will see you soon.